introductory meeting to talk about the test phase for our new e-learning initiative. We're really excited and we really appreciate your interest and are really looking forward to getting your feedback and helping us through this test phase. We've been doing a good bit of our own testing over the past 24 hours to get things ready for you, and definitely finding out things that need to be fixed, and glad we have a test phase. So we're looking forward to this next part of our e-learning initiative, and know it's going to set us up for a lot of success and a lot of good tools, hopefully, for you guys in the field. So today we just want to talk about a few things that take us through different e-learning. But before we start, I wanted to I looked at the New Yorker cartoon today, and this is what it was, and I thought it was appropriate for our webinar today on e-learning. So it's just to me it was kind of a fun commentary on how quickly our world's changing and how technology plays a part in that. And we can definitely say that's true for our work with training and technical assistance. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about what are we testing, what do we need from you all as testers, what's in it from you, and what's coming in 2014. So the first thing, what are we testing? We're testing two things. One is the learning management system, which is basically the online space for learning to happen, where everything's housed. And I'm going to give you a little tour of it, and then when you get your login, we'll go through all that, and then you'll be able to get in yourself and look at all the different tools and how you use the space. And that's the web address for it. And then the second thing is the actual tools themselves. So the things that we have uploaded right now are several self-paced modules that are designed for two different audiences, and I'll go into that in a minute, some other resources, and then we have surveys that we'd like you to complete based on what you're going through, and then some quizzes that are embedded in the different tools. So we have two primary audiences that we've been developing tools for, and one of them is for refugees and the other is for service providers. So for refugees, we've been focusing on developing tools that are about workforce readiness and that can be used in multiple settings. So we've been focusing on developing tools that refugees could access on their own if they have computer literacy and computer access. Also tools that you all can use in like a group or like class training session, and also things that volunteers and refugees could look at together. So we've been trying to develop things that can be used in lots of different settings, but our overall goal is to really use this e-learning initiative to develop some consistent tools that you all can use and that refugees can access on workforce readiness. Everybody does workforce readiness in the field differently, and that's not a bad thing. It's based on a lot of factors: organizational capacity, it's based on how many refugees you're resettling, it's based on your own community. And those are not bad things, but one thing that we find a lot and hear about a lot is people are really looking for some consistent tools that they can use and then adapt in their own settings. So we're hoping that these tools will be a piece of that. The third piece for refugees is the English level required. We're just producing these in English right now. We would love to be able to put them in different languages down the road at some point. We have a couple of the modules that are at an 8th grade English level, and then we have a couple that are at a 2nd grade level. And we're looking forward to your feedback on those to see how the English level is and if it's useful, even a useful English language learning tool. So those are the ones for refugees. And then we have another series that will be for service providers. And these are around professional development topics. And we're developing them in a way to make them easy to access in between your other work duties. So if you have an appointment that gets canceled, you can jump on and look at a quick 30 minutes, how do I make that first initial employer pitch? And we're also looking to include some discussion forums, so as a way for you all to be able to engage in discussion with each other even when you can't necessarily be face-to-face in a training. So those ones are really, for those of you who've been in the field a while and have gone to some of our employment training institutes, we're looking to take those kinds of skill-building topics and put them into an e-learning format. Does not take away from in-person training. We still wholeheartedly believe in in-person training and know there's a lot of benefits to that too, and are always looking for opportunities to be out in the field with you too. But this is just a way so that when you only have 30 minutes, you can look at something real quick, or if you have a new staff member start, and a lot of us, I think, when we started in the field, we didn't get much training, so we can feel compassion for those who are new, that they could go online and log in and be able to get some real basic info about how to be a job developer or how to do employment case management overall. So we're looking forward to both of these series. So here's just going on to what we need from you all. And when we get into I'll give you a tour of the LMS, and you'll get to see all the products there too. So but here's what we need from you all. We need you all to test the products with yourself, to look at them yourself, and then we would love for you to test them with refugees. Whether that is you just pass it on with like a login on to a refugee who can access it on their own, or if you use them in a group setting or with a volunteer, any of those are great. As you go through them, please take notes, because you'll probably pick up on things in the middle of a module that won't necessarily remember. So take notes if you see something that's glitchy that isn't working quite right, or even if you see a typo. We've tried to comb through them really good, but there's things that we might have missed. So take good notes, and then after each of the modules, there's a survey for you to complete. When you all signed up to test the modules, different ones of you signed up for different that you want to test different modules. So if you need a refresher on which those are, we can give you that. If you get into the LMS and decide you just want to go through all of them, that's great too. You can do it either way. So here's our timeline. So we're going to start a testing phase. You can get started today, and we're going to run the testing through the end of January. At the beginning of January, we'll have 2 more service provider modules available for testing. So there'll be a couple more for you to look at yourselves during that phase. And then in February, we'll be doing any revisions or fixing any glitches that we haven't been able to fix yet, and doing a big outreach campaign to let everybody know we've got this big cool thing happening. And then beginning of March, we'll do a big launch and get the word out. We've got big goals, and we're really looking for this new system to be able to reach a lot of people. So we would love your help in spreading the word about the tools. So here's what's in it for you as a tester. You'll get a first look at these new e-learning tools. This is the first time that we've done anything like this, and it's the first that I know of that there's anything in an e-learning format like this that's targeting just to refugee employment professionals and refugee job seekers. So it's a pretty exciting initiative, and something that we're really looking forward to learning as we go, and ORR also is real interested in, because they're looking for ways that they can do a better job of supporting the network as well. The other thing that is really a good opportunity is it will give you a chance to contribute to a national initiative. We really are taking this testing phase seriously, and really do want your feedback, and we'll be taking your suggestions and input into account as we develop this whole initiative for the rollout, and then as we continue to develop it as it becomes part of what we do as a TA provider. And then the third thing is that you're going to get ahead of the learning curve. So when the rest of your colleagues around the country are just figuring out how to use the LMS, you already know how to do it, and we'll be able to get right in and get started using it. So there's a few technical pieces I want to go through about on your computer and recommended learner settings. This is some things you might need to talk to your IT staff about. If you don't have IT staff, you can call us. We can help you with it too. And all of these slides we're going to post on our website in this recording also, so you'll be able to access them beyond today to go back and reference to, especially these 2 slides. There's a couple things you need. You're going to need to have the most recent version of a web browser. The learning management system works best in Chrome, Firefox, or Internet Explorer. If you have Internet Explorer 9, the LMS recommends that you do that enabling for the web page compatibility mode. And if you are using Internet Explorer 7, I know sometimes you don't have control over that. It's like a bigger system that you're working under at your desk, that there's a patch that you can put in. And again, if these become issues, we can get you this information to fix these things. But I just want to note that there are some computer technical pieces that we need to make sure are in place. A few more of those. you want to make sure your browser has the latest version of Adobe Flash and that JavaScript is enabled. And then your resolution should be higher than that number, 1024 by 768. The other thing is your internet connection. It needs to be a fairly quick one, and there's the digits on that. It just might take a little longer on some of the courses if it's slower than that. And if you end up with running into problems in all these areas, that's also good learning for us. So we're making sure we're making products that are accessible to the biggest group of people. We've been trying, but this is our first chance to test beyond just our own computers. And then also you just need to make sure the pop-ups are enabled. One thing that you might notice when you're in the LMS, I'm just going to note this now and we'll get into it more later, is that sometimes windows get kind of buried. So a pop-up pops up, but then something else is over the top of it. So you just might want to make sure you look around if you have lost the screen at some point in the process when you're in the LMS. Okay, so we're going to do a quick tour of the LMS now. And I need to change my screen sharing real quick to show that to you. Okay, so hopefully you all can see now the front page for the Learning Management System. It has a higher logo on the top corner, and then it has a login page. Just if you can do like a little chat, say yay or nay if you're seeing that. Okay, so we'll keep going. I'm hoping everybody's seeing that. So here we go. So login. Everybody's login is their email address, and your password is password, all lowercase. So my login is different. My login doesn't have my whole email address, but yours will. And then just password. We're just trying to keep it simple. So make a note of that. You might have gotten an email last week with another login. We changed all of that just to make it a little less complicated. So again, your login is your email address, and your password is password, all lowercase. So I'm going to log in. And this is what you'll see. This is still being finalized, the design of this top part, so don't worry about that. But the part that's important I want you to recognize is some of the features that you can see here. So this is what you're going to see when you log in. And, oh, sorry, one second. What we want to look at, we're going to go to My Courses, because we enrolled you all in courses. So that is right here. Now I just want to scroll down so you can see the rest of the screen before we go there. So this is what you'll see. This is called the dashboard. So if there's any courses that you're in the middle of, you'll see those under resume. So you'll see I'm in the middle of a course here. And then there's a course catalog. And then we'll click on that so you can see that is where you'll go if you want to enroll in something new. But you'll see I've already enrolled in all of those. Let me erase that highlighter that's in the middle of the screen. Okay, so this is the catalog. So let's say we get through, it's next year at this time. You can log in and you'll see all of the courses that we have available, and you can be like, oh, there's something else you want to take, so you just enroll in it. You click enroll. You all are all signed up as users. We've your username and password and your license was good for your entire lifetime. There's a $5 fee with all those that we paid for you all. So that's all done, and we have we'll be able to pay fees for this whole year for all of the people who get enrolled in the system. So your username and password is good for the rest of your life, basically. So to get back to the main page, this is a catalog. We want to get back to that dashboard. If you go up on the right-hand side, you'll see my cursor. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. And that little cursor is on that little icon is on every screen. So I'm going to go to My Courses. And I want to show you a course. So this first one is going to be a prerequisite for everybody to do. It's called Intro to E-Learning. Right there. So if you all can see that, I want to make sure everybody sees it, and then we're going to go ahead and click open on that. And then you'll see two things. Every course will have these two things for this test phase. You're going to see the course and you're going to see a survey. So to look at the course, you just click on Launch. And it will load the course. These courses are all about 15 to 20 minutes long. So you can, hopefully, if you can do it in one setting, that's great. If not, you can come back to it, and it will pick up where you left off. So then you just click Start, and you can go through the whole course. Does anybody have any questions at this point? I'm just going to stop for a minute because I've given a lot of information.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
One user says, it's Kim Hughes Toth, says that she has to toggle between full screen and minimizing the screen to see your screen changes. I don't know if anyone else is having that issue. I think it may be related to the computer settings you just outlined. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is anybody else having that issue?
Several people have received, they can see the screen.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. You know, this is why we're doing this. All right. Well, let's keep going, and we'll just see how it goes for everybody. So this is one of them. I'm going to close this just to show you what the survey looks like also. So the survey, so once you go, you can just press play and then watch the course, and then the survey launches, and there's a series of questions. You just answer each question, and then click submit, and it'll take you to the next question. This is just our feedback tool, and we wanted to put it right away, right after you take the course, so everything's fresh in your head of what you just did. So and then when you're done with that, you'll just submit them all, and then it will close on its own, or I'm just going to close it there since we're not going to go through it all. The other thing that's available here within each course, on the left-hand side is the place you see is called Resources. So I'm going to click on that. And here is two resources. So we put scripts in here for all of the modules. This is just the voice-over script. In case you decide to use it, and we'd love for people to do this, to use it in a group setting and you want to have some live interpretation happening, it can be useful to share the voice-over script with the interpreter ahead of time. And so you're welcome to print those out and use them or email them to your interpreters whenever you need to. So the scripts for all of the voiceovers are in here. And then in this particular one is another resource that's the recommended learner settings. So that's all the pieces that I went through with like Flash enabled and all that. All of that, and with more detail, is in this document, this Word document. Now, of course, if you actually got into the LMS, you probably already, your learner system settings are working. But that is there if you need it, and we will have that available for others who can't get into the system. We're happy to share that and then work with you to figure out how to make all that happen. So you can just click on these and view them, or you can download them. And this is a great feature because in other modules, like we'll have one coming out in January on assessment strategies for when you're developing an employment plan. So when you're doing your employment plan, or some people call it a client self-sufficiency plan, we have a module that we're developing right now on that. And then in the resources section, we'll be able to put in some like sample plans. So those will be really useful tools for you guys in the field, we're hoping. Okay, I'm going to go back. So again, I'm going to use that little icon on the upper right-hand corner and go back to the dashboard, because that's where I like to go, because everything's kind of right there. You can, from that also, you can see you can also go to the courses, and it just shows you all the courses. You can also go to the course catalog, which shows you what's available. You can go to the resources. There's a calendar, which we're not using right now, a transcript one we're not using right now, and then you can also edit your profile here. When you click on that, if you want to change your password, if you don't like having your password be password, you can change it here. And you can also edit your information. You cannot edit your names right now. We can only do that part. But you can change your email address. You can put in where your city, your phone number, all those things to edit your profile there. So I'm just going to go back again to the dashboard and go back to what I'm enrolled in. And I just want to show you one other one. This one, workplace culture. Oh, see, so it's already telling me. I guess because I'm enrolled as a learner already. So I have to complete the intro to e-learning first, which is great. So you'll see that's there. So I can't show you that one right now, but you guys will be able to see it when you get in there. I think those are all the pieces I wanted to show you. Laurel, is there another piece you want to show them in here?
No, I think you covered everything.
Okay, great. I'm going to go back to those PowerPoint slides then.
Does anybody have any questions? I don't see any coming up. None so far. Okay, keep going.
Sometimes I think it's what Laurel and I found out with all this is that we don't know what even to ask until we start using it. So if there's more questions later, we can answer those, of course. Okay, so two important things. Remember your username is your email address, and your password is password. Everybody's password is password, lowercase. And then if you want to go into your profile and change it, you're welcome to do that. And then make sure you check your pop-up windows when you're in the system in case something disappears. Sometimes they're just buried behind something else. Okay, and a few things that are coming for next year, that we're going to have 4 new modules. We'll have 2 new ones for refugees, 2 for service providers. We'll have more downloadable resources. We're looking to start some of those discussion forums. And a key feature that we're going to be working on is including a lot of interviews with refugees, staff, and employers. The ones that we have right now have some interviews and case studies in them, but we really want to be able to incorporate more of that. So they'll be really relevant and personable too. It's one thing to look at a graphic, quite another to be able to hear from somebody who's actually walking through the process themselves. If you're a refugee, to be able to log into a module or see one in your workforce readiness class and hear somebody who talk about what it was like to get their first job. We know you guys do that on your own a lot of times, but to be able to have a resource that people can look at or you can access anytime, we feel like will be real valuable. And we'll also have interviews with staff, have veteran staff talking about like their tricks and tips for job development, and we want to engage employers also in some of our modules as well. So if you need help as you're going, you can contact Laurel, and I'll be working closely with her too. So if as you're going through the modules, or you try to log in and something's not working, you can contact Laurel, and that's her information. And again, all this will be up on our website too, so you'll be able to access the information there too. And a quick review, just to review the different pieces we talked about in the past 30 minutes. So we're starting the test phase today. You can log in anytime after this webinar. You're ready to go. So use your email address and your password to log in and get going. Make sure you write down your username and your password if you change it. We're asking you to test the product yourself and with refugees. Make sure you watch for those pop-up windows. Take notes, watch for glitches, comment on things you really like, comment on things that you don't like, so we can take that into consideration. Complete the surveys, and then help us spread the word about all these new tools. And then come end of February, beginning of March, let the learning begin. So we'll have this whole system ready to go, and hopefully fairly glitch-free based on all the testing you guys are going to do for us. So we do appreciate your time a lot. So that is all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions, and Laurel might have a few other things she wants to add into.
No, I don't have anything. I think it's all fine. I've been trying to keep up with questions, and I don't think anyone has one. If anybody does, please use the chat function and ask it of everyone. I'm trying to monitor the individual hand raises too. Nadine, I saw your hand raised for 10 seconds. I'm going to unmute you for a second. Hi, Nadine, you're unmuted. Nadine, you're unmuted, so you should be able to talk, and I can hear you, but it's not working yet. So anybody else have a question, and I will unmute you, and you can ask it. It looks like nobody else does. Nadine, I'm sorry we're having technical difficulties. I'll talk to you after. Beck, I think you can go ahead and shut things down.
Great. So I think that's all we have. We look forward to hearing from you all. So by your surveys, as you do those and go through the modules, we're really eager to get your feedback. And then please don't hesitate to email or call if you have any questions that pop up as you go, or even if you just have ideas like, oh, we should, what if you did this, it would be so great, it would help us so much. We really want to hear from you all and make sure that what we're doing is really responsive to your needs. So thanks again for your time today, and we'll talk to you soon.